Coaxial, fixed pitch, and collective pitch. First off, we're going to go with coaxial. As you'll see, this has two sets of rotor blades. When you give it throttle, one set of rotor blades spins one direction, the other spins the other direction. You have a fly bar, which is this little bar on top, which helps keep the helicopter stable. A coaxial is made to be very easy to fly. It should just pretty much sit there in one spot, and you can give these very big stick movements and they'll respond very slowly to your stick movements. They don't do a whole lot. The whole point of this is it's made to be easy to fly. It's also, I would consider this a fixed pitch because the blades do not change pitch. The blades always have the same amount of pitch. When you give it more throttle, the extra RPM on the blades makes it go up. When you give it less throttle, it goes down. That's all because of the way the pitch is set on the blades. So the way one of these should fly is it should just set here. If it doesn't, it's not trimmed properly. I'll get into trim in another video. On most helicopters of today, you do not want to trim them. On something like a coaxial or a fixed pitch that's not flybarless, you can. On a actual collective pitch helicopter, you want to have your helicopter set up properly, and if it is, you will not need trim. But you can see this just sets here, it doesn't really move around much. If I give it stick movements, it still flies around really slowly. It's not very responsive, and this is very easy to fly. Now we're going to go with something that is fixed pitch. It has one set of rotor blades, and it has a 90-degree fly bar. The fly bar at 90 degrees helps keep this stable. This is a much more responsive helicopter, so it will react to your stick movements a lot quicker. It'll fly faster, and it'll do a lot more stuff. The pitch on the blades never changes. Same deal. It's a fixed pitch. The amount of RPM on the blades is what determines if it goes up or down. Still very stable. It should pretty much set there if it's trimmed correctly. Nowadays they have some fixed pitch helicopters that are flybarless. I'm not really too familiar with those, like the MSRX. This here is the MSR I'm using on the simulator. But you can see if I give this more stick movements, this thing is fast, it starts to fly, take off. But it's still not very responsive, and to me that makes it hard to fly. Something like this is good for indoors, in the house, or in a gym. Now I'm going to get to the collective pitch helicopter. As you can see when I move the stick up and down, you can see the blades move on this helicopter. Now on a real one you have a swash plate, which is right here. You would also see this go up and down. So that's what happens on a collective pitch is the RPM, I have mine set up so the RPM is always the same on the blades throughout the whole flight. And what determines if the helicopter goes up and down is the pitch of the blades. So you have your positive pitch and you have your negative pitch. Negative pitch is for flying upside down. When you flip a helicopter upside down, you go into negative pitch by pulling your stick down, and that changes the pitch of the blades to give it lift in the opposite direction. Now if you have, that's why you have a stunt mode, or idle up as we call it. If you're not in stunt mode, when you pull the stick, your throttle stick all the way down, it will shut off your motor. You use throttle curves to adjust this. My throttle curves are set, so even when the stick is down, I am at complete full throttle still. And there's a switch on the radio. When I flip the switch, it kills the throttle. And I'll show you what I mean. I'm in stunt mode. Now another thing with collective pitch is it will react very quickly to your stick movements. You can change the settings and you can make it so it's not like that. I prefer a very fast helicopter. When you flip this upside down, I go into negative pitch. The more negative pitch, the higher the helicopter goes. If I give a positive pitch when I'm upside down, it's going to fly towards the ground. If I'm right side up and I give it negative pitch, it's going to shoot towards the ground. So if you're flying in stunt mode or idle up, you never want to pull your stick down fast. Flying upright. Another thing about this is it's not very stable. Very twitchy, quick to react to your sticks. And if you move the stick to the right, the helicopter is just going to keep going to the right until you make it stop. So every time you act, I'm acting by moving my stick here to the right. I have to counteract that twice. So I pull the helicopter to the left and then level it back out. So you're basically acting and then counteracting every time you have this helicopter doing something. If you want it to fly level and stay still, you're going to have to make it do that with tiny little stick movements. Kind of think of it as taking a ping pong paddle and balancing a ping pong ball on the center of the paddle. Do not let the ball roll off. That's kind of how it is with one of these. You're balancing the helicopter underneath this rotor head. So there's the basics on fixed pitch, collective pitch, and coaxial.